Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a little bit of time since I've done a video, and I apologize for that. Life has gotten way busy for me. I did start a new job about 2 weeks ago, maybe three. I am now a memory care assistant at a residential home, and what that means is that I provide activities for residents who suffer from dementia and Alzheimer's. And what I want to start doing on my channel is add another aspect to it, and that's where I'm going to share activities that I have done with the residents. Because one of the things that I found out when I started to research dementia and activities and all that kind of thing is there's not a lot out there in regard to ideas for activities that are good for brain stimulation. And that is one of the important things to do for these residents, is to give them that stimulation. One of the things that I learned is that, for most of us, we are receiving all of this information and stimulation all day long on a daily basis. But for those folks, they are not receiving hardly any at all. And so the more that we can do to provide that, the better it will be for them and in slowing the progression of the dementia. So what I have before me is an activity that I had done the other night that went over quite well. And one of the things that I want to make clear is that it doesn't matter necessarily if they don't participate in the activity exactly as I had planned it or had thought that it would go. The important thing is the interaction that occurs. Any kind of interaction with the materials is good for them. It is going to involve their senses. It is going to stimulate their brain. Like the one resident in particular that I have thought that I had thought of this for, likes to touch things and just move them around. So she might just take it and do this with it, but she's still touching it. She's still getting that tactile, that sound. And like with paper, I use some of Amy from Darkwood Sanctuary, aka Hags Hollow. I use some of her tea-dyed paper, and it has a scent to it. So when she's moving this paper around, she's got the sounds and feel of that, plus the smell. And so everything that she does, or any of them do, in interacting with these materials is stimulating the brain. But what we did was I would show her, and I went ahead and I peeled all the layers off. And for those of you that might be watching that are not a part of the craft community, we craft with napkins all the time, and we use them for various purposes. And that was where I had got the idea to use the napkins. But what I did was I just went through and I laid the napkins out and I showed them to her so she could see all the different colors and designs and all the different things about it. And I would show her a napkin. I would say, oh, look at this one, isn't that pretty? Do you like the color pink? Just anything that would bring up a conversation that would get her to interact with me. And she would respond to my questions, and she would say, oh, that's pretty, or whatever. And this was in the building that where it has progressed a little bit more. There's two buildings, and one is where they have the dementia and the Alzheimer's in varying degrees, but then there's another building where it has progressed severely, and that was the building that I did this in. But she enjoyed it. We sat for quite a while doing this, looking at the napkins, talking about different things about them. She would, I laid all these papers out, and she, looked at all the papers and picked them up and put them in piles and sorted through them. And I would say, oh, well, what one should we use next? And she would hand me one, say she hand me this card. And then I would say, oh, okay, let's do that one. And then I would, you know, grab 2 or 3 napkins and I would show them to her and I'd say, okay, well, what napkin do you think we should use? And more often than not, she would pick a napkin and tell me which one to put on it. There was a couple ladies that were doing this with me. And another lady was sitting there doing word searches, but she was, even though she wasn't doing the project, she was still paying attention to the napkins and she was still talking about different designs and, you know, which ones she liked and what do you do with that and that kind of thing. So it still got her to engage in conversation with us. So these are just some of the different ones that we did. Now I put the glue on, but she actually would put the napkin piece on and press it down. Sometimes not. You know, sometimes I did them, but we still were talking and interacting, and you know, like we would talk about birds or we would talk about butterflies. You know, she likes butterflies, and so she would talk about, you know, oh, that's really pretty, you know, stuff like that. And you know, if you're watching this because, you know, you take care of a loved one at home and you're looking for activities, it doesn't matter if you don't have these types of papers or if you're not a crafter or you don't make journals like I do. You know, you still could make paper like this to write a letter on. I mean, some people do still write letters. You know, it's not all technology and email and stuff. You know, so that would be a pretty letter. But even if you don't use it, it's still something that, you know, it gives them something to do. It gives them interaction. It gives them the, you know, the feel and uh, the sight. This one I made a pocket in because it had some bad words on it. But, and I also made an envelope. That's something else you can do at home. You know, you want to decorate your paper to write a letter. You can also make an envelope to put your letter in. So just, you know, a simple thing that, you know, helps pass the time, plus it gives them a lot of stimulation. She was tired when we got done doing this activity. It really did a lot to give her some stimulation. So that's just one activity that you can do. I hope it's helpful. I do plan to do this regularly. At this point, I'm still waiting for permission from where I work. Even though I'm not mentioning any of the residents' names, I'm not mentioning where I work, I still just wanted to, you know, be polite and ask them if it was okay to make these kinds of videos. So if you're seeing this, I got permission, but I just wanted to get it filmed ahead because I'm going on and doing more activities and I don't want to lose, you know, the ones that I've done. So thank you for watching, and be sure to leave a comment and let me know if you find this helpful or not helpful, or, you know, what you would rather see, or, you know, whatever you want to leave. I'm open to suggestions, and I just want this to be helpful for those of us that, you know, are working with this group of people, and to be helpful. Okay, so thanks for watching. I'll see y'all next time.